Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, welcome. I'm Lisette. And guys, today I have a very special episode for you guys because it's a sponsor and chat. Well, you may have seen the stash and chats here on my channel. That's a series that I'm doing where I'm talking to participants of the Refresh Your Stash challenge that I'm hosting this year. And I have a sponsor for this challenge, and that's CRAFTS with CRASHLEY, and they made some beautiful merch for the challenge, the Refresh Your Stash release paper and other gadgets that we're going to be talking about today. But we thought it would be fun to just do a kind of a stash and chat, but this is a sponsor and chat about their business, what they're doing, and we had so much fun. I really love this conversation, so I hope you guys will enjoy it too, and you can just listen along when you're working on your work in progress, on your diamond painting, or treat it as a podcast, or just sit back with a cup of coffee and watch the screen, whatever works for you. All the information about CRAFTS with Crashly and their shop is in the description box below, so you can go and check it out there. But first, let's talk to the wonderful Crashly and Kerwin. And well, we had a blast, and I hope you'll enjoy this chat. I think I see you guys. Hi, guys.
We reorganized some stuff. We'll fit in here.
Move some chairs around.
Wait,
Oh,
maybe
you're perfect together in screen. Hi, guys. It's so nice to see you.
It's nice to see you. How are you doing?
Cool. Oh, how are you guys doing?
Good, good. So this is what France looks like, huh?
Yeah. Hi.
Oh, my thanks, Crashly the Amazing. How do I take that off of? I didn't really.
Crashly the Amazing.
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh, wow. Yes, we
No.
don't like. Yeah. Oh, but I just thought it was fun to do a sponsor chat because I was so amazed at the image that you made, Corinne. It was just, I immediately was like, oh wow, that's great. And I sent you, I filled in the form for the sponsor, for the sponsorship, and there were all questions like, what's your event? Well, it isn't an event. How many people are going to join? I don't know. And I felt like, okay, I have no answers to all the questions, and the only thing that I can come up with is, okay, I love you guys. I love your release papers, and I think it would be fun if we had a gadget for this challenge. And I was like, okay, I'm never going to hear from them again. And then all of a sudden, you send me an email like, okay, sorry, I didn't get back to you earlier. What do you think? And I was like, we have release papers. And I was so happy. Yeah.
We do our best to keep up with that. It gets busy at times, so
Yeah.
sometimes it's down. But yeah, no, it's a lot of questions. But sometimes, sometimes you get people who ask for sponsorship,
Yeah.
and they give very little information up front, and then when the event happens, they're expecting a lot. And it's like, if I would have known all this up front, so that's why those questions are there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I totally get the questions.
Well. You answered well,
I think
and
you did.
the event did amazing. And that's
We were pleasantly surprised at how
is doing
quickly,
amazing.
yeah, how quickly they sold. Like right after your announcement video, we were getting ding, 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 ding. Like, what is happening? And then at some point, like we would get a ting, and I was like, he said, what do you think sold? And the first guess doesn't count. I'm like, refresh your stash, I'm sure. Yep, sure enough, refresh your stash. Yes, okay, that's awesome. But he's so good at I don't know how to explain it. Like layering images, coming up with these visual things, and then actually bringing them to life. See, I'm more of like a visual brain type of person, but then like I can't decipher what's in my head and put it down. It's like I think I have great ideas, but they only exist up here. But then to translate them to something physical, I'm not so good at. He is very good at like articulating ideas and then getting them on paper. And this was a really fun one to do. It's a good, not event, challenge. It's a really good challenge. It was a good idea.
Yeah. But it was so much, it was just, you captured exactly what the idea was, because I wanted something different than what you see everywhere else. And also the idea of someone sitting there with a pile of diamond. I was like, yes. And I showed it to my daughters when it arrived, and they didn't know anything about it. And my youngest, she said, "Mom, that's you."
You.
Yes, I think so too. That's what it feels like.
When I read what you put, the image that came to mind was literally someone who had their crafting station.
Yeah.
And was hunting for a diamond painting, and it happened to be one at the bottom. So a giant pile, and they're pulling one out of the bottom. So I was like, okay, I need to do that. So then I had to find different elements that would allow me to build that part. Because when it comes to artistic ability, as far as drawing and stuff, if you ever watch her speak, I can't do it anymore for some reason. When I was a kid, I could. Now I just can't. My brain's just like, okay, it looks good enough. It's chicken scratches. And then so from there, it was getting that. I knew I wanted a window in the background to give it some sort of a warm feel. I knew I wanted a draft style table that they would be diamond painting on. And I looked up, your aesthetic, so you would be the person in there.
He looked you up
and found, and then, layered it all together. And from then, it's trying to find the right filters and the proper texture to overlay over each element, because if you don't, it just looks like different pieces of paper cut out on top of each other.
And I think that the color palette, that was really nice. So it all came together, and I have gotten multiple questions like, is this going to be a diamond painting? So people are actually, they are a fan of the image. So I think you nailed it. It's just, I'm so happy. And you know what I have here, guys? Look.
I was gonna say, I think it helped too when you mind meld with people, and I knew from our first exchange, like, okay, I got her. Like, I know, I think I know her enough now. It's like you get a mind meld click with certain people that was there. So like, I think he felt it too. So we kind of we were confident in the style, and then your reaction just made it so special. It was awesome.
Cool. Yeah, because I have so many release papers from you guys, because I've been working with your release papers for a very, very long time. Because the first time I bought release papers from you guys, you were still on only on Etsy. And because I'm just going to show you. I've got these.
Oh my gosh! Yes, those are
these.
Yep, that was one of the popular prints right there.
And these.
Yep, watercolor.
And I use them all the time, and they stay. Even after years, they just stay perfect. You can just reuse them over and over and over again. Oh, and this is also one of my favorites. Sorry, guys. Well, you know them all, but this one.
Literate
sea lines. We memorize all the names of the designs too. That was another popular one.
But it's so cool, and it really, I don't use a lot of accessories, but I always use release papers. And even now with Diamond Art Club, where with the perforated ones, because you've got different sizes, so you also have the one that fit perfectly in those sizes. Even if you like using the perforated cover, you can still use the release papers.
Yeah, I know you can't tell where the perforation ends and starts, but when I use release papers, I've seen a lot of people uncover all the plastic and then put release papers on. I'm like, oh, you brave soul. I have cats, and I just go. So I do 2 rows at a time of release paper. So the perforation comes in handy if you don't want that flap, going forward. So you find the perforation, you pull it back, and then you do your 2 rows. or if you like want to outline your square, especially if you're like extra blinging something. Like I worked on Family Circus, for example, from Richard Lorenz, and I wanted to bling my birds first, so I used my release paper to go around each bird. And that way, that's not, the background's not exposed, or this other bird, the other birds are out of sight, out of mind. I'm focusing on this bird. So there's so many different ways to use release papers.
And even with the perforated plastic, I mean, I know a few times where you go to pull it off and it tears like half the next piece.
Yeah.
It's just the nature of perforation on plastic. So I mean, it's nothing against it.
It's still nice though, because you can tear off the portions that you're done and stuff.
And you can have your hand on your diamond painting without hearing the sound of plastic every time you move your arm.
But that's also the case. And because this size is, well, as I've just shown you, that's my favorite size. But now I have the large one as well. And I've been playing with this one the last couple of weeks. And I must say, I love this as well. Is this the largest one that you have?
No, so the largest one is technically full sheet, so 4 of those. That I would say is our most common size. That's quarter sheet. So if you think of like so and that, if you turn that sideways,
like this,
that way, that's 2 of those. Like that's the 8th sheet is the small one. But yeah, we have full sheet, we have half sheet, but you think of it as like a piece of paper. So you the combo or the sampler pack, I would say. So that comes with the quarter sheet, the 8th sheet, and then 2 squares. That's 3 by 3, and then the bigger square is 4 by 4.
This is an uncut. This is an uncut one, just as an example. But basically, the full sheet is this size without the border.
And those are quarter sheets.
And then the half sheet would be that without the border. This is.
But it's interesting to me that you have all those older designs, and like, so you were with us like before we upgraded paper, which is so crazy.
Yes,
how far we came from that, and
and that's because that's what I also wanted to know. Because as I'm just going to tell you what I remember. Okay, how do I know about you, Crashley? You don't remember this, but I remember it very, very well. I just started my channel, and that was in October of 2020, and I woke up very early one Saturday morning, and I turned on my computer, and there was a live going on Jennifer's channel, DP Addiction Adventures, and you were there, and Live with Lindsay was there. And I was watching, I was like, what am I watching? And you guys were having so much fun and laughing so hard. And I was like, this is fun. And then I saw all the comments, and I had never been in a live. I didn't even know what it was. So I just said, hi, hello from France, or good morning, I'm just having coffee. And you guys were all like, whoa, there's someone from France. And I was the paint by number lady back then. And we interacted, and I was like, these ladies are fun. What are they doing? And you guys were diamond painting. And I just had a couple of messages in my feed because I was doing paint by numbers. And I was just thinking, should I do diamond painting? And you are all having so much fun. I was like, okay, I need to know these folks. I need to get into this community. That's how I found you. And and in that live, you mentioned that you had a Facebook group. So I went to your Facebook group, and that was Crafts with Crashley. And that's how I found you. And you were doing cover minders at that. You made cover minders. So you had an Etsy shop. So I went to the Etsy shop, and that's where I found your release papers. That's how I found you. But back then, I think you weren't yet, because you both work full time at Crafts with Crashley now.
Yes.
But at that point, I don't think you had made that decision yet. Am I?
You're exactly right.
Yeah, at that point.
Because can you tell me how you guys how the business started from your? This is my version, but now your version.
So I think it started like I was nervous about starting YouTube, but it all started with AliExpress diamond painting of
Yeah.
Yoda. And I had it for months, and I was so bored one day, and I had like severe ADD, so like I lose focus on things easily. But I like honed in on this diamond painting. So then from there, I made kind of like you. I kind of stumbled upon lives and made friends, and the first time I was introduced into the community really was through a DP-a-thon, which is where a bunch of creators like go live, and then someone dared me to do a hokey pokey on a live. I'm like, okay, like, I didn't think I would do it, but I'm like, sure. And so I did, and I made some friends. They're like, man, she's ruthless. Let's be friends. I'm like, yes. And but so then I met some people, and I started making clay pens, and I think that's where it started the most. Is I was doing tutorial Tuesdays where I was making clay diamond painting pens with like the pink base. Like I just have this right here, but this pink base, I'm putting clay all over it and making them like pretty with polymer clay and baking them. And so then people were so interested, so I started Etsy, I think, with clay pens.
Well, we had an Etsy shop already started with. We did, since we've been together. She had done wreaths, made wreaths.
Oh,
she'd make elaborate wreaths. We'd donate them to the school for school carnival gifts. She'd sell them at work, stuff like that. But it's not money making. Every wreath cost after the transaction was done. We ended up being $15 in the hole at least. She would be so excited. She'd be like, "I sold it for $45." Yes, and I'm looking at the receipts, going, "That wreath cost us $60."
Oh no!
So they were fun wreaths like Hot Wheels or Gamer Girl, like weird wreaths, and it was so fun. But he's absolutely right. The materials were like
and that was under the like if you bought on Etsy, you might have gotten an email from Ashwin Crafts and Treasures.
Yeah.
That was what our email and our Etsy was at the time. Basically, I worked for an auctioneer, so I'd find stuff at auctions. It was just an idea of like finding old stuff that could be repurposed or something like that. And she made wreaths, so we were selling those on Etsy, but it wasn't really doing anything. But it was like, it's just there. If it sells, it sells. And she was making the pens, and people were wanting them. She's like, "Should I sell them?" I'm like, "Too late. I'm already listing."
But like at that time, I was when you make things by hand, like that's from just your mind. You get scared of like rejection automatically, or like what if they just sit there and I just put all my love into this and nobody. It was this weird fear. But he just listed them, and then they went to weird pens like wands and I don't know,
dragons, like she had fun with it. We had fun with it. I don't know if you remember the little fights we would do, not fights, but like play-offs.
Oh, we did do
cane-offs where we did the gnome cane-off and stuff. But yeah, we were doing the cover minders with that. And then shortly after that, she was like, she had constantly talked about release paper. The three things she talked about were release paper, trays, because I bought a 3D printer and we were making pen stands.
Yeah.
And you could, just put your pen in. We ended up selling one to Rachel Ray. And then, so it was trays, release paper, and putty. And my patience with the 3D printer was not going well.
So much harder.
So I told her, I'm not doing trays. I'm not doing 3D printing. I'm not getting into it. But I was like, okay, we can work on the putty. And while we're working on getting the putty out, I'll work on figuring out how to do the release papers, because that would cost a lot more. I'd have to get the right printer and stuff like that. So we had some friends test the putty for quite a few months until we started selling it, which is
this is the ribbit stick putty that we sell. This took a long time to perfect. It says there's different since Midnight Orchid, and it comes in like this cool big ball. It's kind of, this one's stuck to the bottom, but as you can see, and it's like really good with like picking up drills and such. But that took a long time to perfect and to test. So I think that was one of our first big sellers. But like with having ADD and other like weird triggers for one of the plastics, so release papers were always a must. But also plain things. I don't know how to describe what happens in my brain, but the plain white, I'm like, it gets me like less excited, and I don't want to do it. I'm wired differently. I don't know.
It was finding the medium between the chaos of a drill field
Yeah.
and the simplification of just plain color sitting in front of you.
Yeah.
So it was finding that, and then we tested different papers. Like the thin ones was what we could do. It was basically proof of concept.
Yeah.
So I had found a product online that I could buy that just allowed me to print on them and get those out there so we could make a name for ourselves, because I couldn't turn around and buy a bunch of paper and a big printer and stuff without going, okay, well, this is going to be worth it.
And we had no idea.
You guys were you, because in my recollection, but that's just maybe because I was just focused on you guys, but you were one of the first to do the release papers, weren't you?
We were, yes. Well, so technically, do you know who Bev B is?
Yes, of course.
Yes. So she did them first, a different way than what we did, but we were friends with her too, and we kind of figured out like a different way to do them. And but it was so much because like I didn't know the demand was so high, and she was just like, I couldn't keep up with it. It was no longer fun for me, and I was like, okay, you have, your blessing to take this and like make it this, and she did, and we're still friends to this day. So we did it our way, and then little did we know that the demand would be so astronomical. But I think it's always been like a dream of ours to own our own thing. Ever since kids and the Valentine's Day parties, and like you gotta request PTO or you gotta do flex time, and it's like stupid. And I went to college for business, so like I've always wanted to own my own business. When we saw the demand, I think how long was it that we still kept?
Well, we went close to a year, or about a year, from launching release papers to where we were getting up, going to work, getting off work, and then basically spending all night working on orders. It was non-stop all the time.
Inside the house in a little nook.
Smaller than this we're sitting in right now. We're about the size, maybe a little bit smaller than just this part of the building.
Yeah.
And then that's when, I worked a physical intense job, and my body, I was not nice to my body when I was younger. So it was having issues.
And while he was doing auction stuff, I just worked from home. I worked for CenturyLink, a telecommunications company, and I answered customer service chats from home, from our bedroom. So like while he was out like slaving away, I was at home between calls or chats. I was making little videos and posting them on socials, making more of a name for myself, which I could, like on lunch break, it's 30 minutes and I'm still at home. I think most wives would be like, let me do the laundry. No, I didn't do that. I made videos and stuff and played with my cat. So that made the name for ourselves. I think if we would have done quitting the jobs any differently than what we did, like we were so scared. We were scared to death because we have these young kids, and like, like health insurance, like they get provided from your job, and when you quit, you have to think about everything.
So many things.
And we knew that owning our business would be a some good months, some bad months, kind of thing. We've stayed quite steady though, and it gets tough at times. And then of course we knew once people see this great idea that we have, we upgraded everything, but we knew once people saw that there would be more people doing it. And we prepared ourselves a little bit for that. And it's still like when you first see it still kind of stings, like, of course, so we had to stay relevant and different. So not only do we upgrade our paper, our paper is hand constructed for diamond painting, and it's the only one that is. Other release paper companies, like, they're great. I'm not knocking anyone, everyone has a preference, but they're repurposed papers, meaning you take one product and you turn it into something else, which again, there's nothing wrong with that.
For the time frame that we were using, the proof of concept time, I was contacting paper manufacturers all over the world, anywhere I could.
And I want to clear something up with that too, because last time we said on the live that we have a manufacturer, they were thinking like we get our papers printed and delivered. That's not the case. We get blank paper. I don't know if you have blank. We get the blank paper that we hand constructed, as in like we work with a manufacturer that creates the paper, and we selected a silicone weight. And that means like if you buy double-sided release papers, like you feel how like like thin they are. Oh yeah, so this is what we get. So like this is the print side blank.
Yeah.
You can see the shiny. So we handpicked this silicone part. We tested it on poured glue, double-sided adhesive, mounted glue. We stuck them on canvases. We put them in heat. We put them in cold. We waited till rainy days and put them on the porch. So like humidity, we tested all.
Sat there for a whole day, putting it on, pulling it off,
over and over again,
making sure that it wouldn't.
And there were trials and errors. Like we would send them back and okay, we need this percent more weight on this because it's not perfect yet. And we waited until it was perfect. So as you can see, we get our paper blank like that, boxes at a time, and then
order about 5,000 sheets per order.
Yeah, and but that was.
I have the new one and I have the older one that I bought years ago.
I don't know how you can test the difference there. Like try to make them fly.
You can feel them.
You can feel the difference, and the older ones are working perfect as well. But the newer ones, they feel a bit thicker and a bit sturdier, and they come off the canvas easier when you stick them
I might be crazy, but I feel like the color sticks to the new papers better. Like I swear they look bolder to me.
There was a sheen that like when we were choosing the paper, we had different sheens we could choose too. And we tried thicker paper as well. Like they sent us numerous different thicknesses
I hated
on
the thicker
printing.
one.
And the thicker one we kept running into was like we'd put a row or two on a canvas, roll it up and let it sit rolled up for a month while we were testing other stuff. Yeah. And then we pulled out, even when you pulled the paper off, the canvas would not lay like you pull the paper off and pull it back. Yeah. It just kept wanting to curl back up. It just would not want to just release and lay flat.
You couldn't roll it without the papers coming up. I have to be able to roll mine and put them away because like I don't have a living situation to where I can leave my canvases out and they're safe. I have cats and like children that are crazy kids, like just crazy, and they don't think before they do things. They just run around and things could be. I think about all the drastic things, so I put mine away because my canvases are my babies. Like,
and there was one that we tested that we thought the thickness and everything was great, but then after pulling it off the canvas about 30-40 times, you started seeing creases throughout the image. So it wasn't just like will this work? Yeah, that looks good. Go. Like we
put them through the ringer.
We tested it for close to a year before I went ahead and it was. I said 5,000. It's 25,000 sheets of paper I have to buy at a time.
But you have the paper that you're using is unique to Crafts with Crashly. No other release paper manufacturer or seller has your paper. This is unique for Crafts with Crashly.
Yes, and you'll see like paper out there. They call it vinyl or laminated, which is like reusing materials. Which like again, there's nothing. But this will work with your adhesives for a long time. But like we have to disclose, like of course we can't claim that silicone lasts forever. We can't. Nobody can put that claim out there.
They eventually erode away.
But I don't think anyone expects that because you use release papers, you put them on. Okay, maybe you put your canvas away for a little while if you have tons of whips like I do. But still, then when you eventually you get back to it, it's not like release paper is going to stay on your canvas for years and years. Well, it's not. That's not what it's meant for. And well, everybody should know that. So that's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to have a great release paper, which you do. When did you decide to go to take the plunge and to start the company together and stop your other jobs?
China made us make the decision.
That was a weird answer.
It was. She was having issues with work. She had worked for this company for over 10 years.
Yeah.
Got a degree and everything. And every year for the last 5 years of her working for that company, it was do all the work of management.
Sorry.
You're getting promoted in a few months. A few months ago, it's not in the budget. And they did that over and over and over again. And by that point, we were doing good in this business. I hadn't been working for a while and we were doing really good. And I was like, we can do more if we both can put full time into it.
Yeah.
I was like,
Well,
I know
you quit first.
I know. I was working full time in this for a year.
Yeah.
And I was like, I understand you're scared of it. I understand you don't want to.
I would.
There's two fears. There's that fear of going full working for yourself.
Yeah.
But there's also the fear of I've put in 10 years of my life to try to get something. Am I going to step out right when I might get it?
Yeah.
That's why I said you go, clock in tomorrow, send them an email, call them, whatever, and say, I'm giving you 30 days. If I do not have a definitive answer that I am promoted in 30 days,
Yeah.
I'm walking. And she did that, and they said, good luck. And that's what she did instantly.
Then the decision is made. But it's so scary.
It is. It's terrifying because of the steady income and this. Like, how do you even prepare for that? How do you even know what to expect? But like, our proof of concept did well. We had our business plan drawn up. We understood what was needed from us. And so I did it. I was like, I worked for them for 10 years. Worst case scenario, I probably have something to go back to. I would hope, and it's been going great. But then I think when we started seeing competitors is when we had to change up.
Yeah, because
like what we're doing.
So it was that situation of, okay, she went ahead and she left her job. Then we went 2.5 months and business picked up like we expected. Since we were both doing it full time, we were able to keep up. And I was like, okay, we're gonna move from Etsy and do a website because we will save money doing a website. Where you're going, and within that time frame from deciding to create the website and start working on the website, we saw printed release papers show up on Amazon from a Chinese company. Yeah. Not only was it printed release papers from Chinese, they went to our Etsy store and took our entire description. Their designs were almost exactly like ours.
But different colors.
But different colors and maybe a little bit things different. And it was just like competitions.
The rainbow flowers was one of them. That was my first design that I made myself. And I handpicked all the flowers and arranged them. And they took that design and like changed up the colors. But again, we knew it was coming.
We knew it was coming. And so it was
it's coming. That's so frustrating. And especially when you're just starting with the two of you. You just made the plunge, you just started picking up, and then bam, and Amazon. That's I mean,
the reality is a big factory could push out so much more than we could. I mean, it's just us. It still is just us. And Mom comes over and helps us label, but oh my, it was terrifying. I was like, did I just make the biggest mistake? Because like we have kids to provide for that like depend on us. I mean, at this time, Maddox who is now how old is he? 19? He was like still in high school, I think. Yeah. Wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like we had 3 full-time kids that we had to
junior high
provide for. So it was terrifying when we saw that, and so that's when we realized we had to be different.
So I went ahead and I ordered a set off Amazon. Mm-hmm. I ordered it, opened it up, and I'm like, okay, the prints aren't as vibrant as ours. Check, we've got vibrant prints. Pricing ours were priced higher because you couldn't get as many as you could there, but we can't compete with that. I was like, I've been working for close to a year working on this paper. Now's the time to do it. I was like, we're gonna do it. So I put in my order. It took took a little bit to get the actual order in. Yeah. But that's why I say China was why we took the step to when we finally pulled the trigger on it, because it was like we had to stay ahead of them. Mm-hmm. It was like we got to have a better quality. We're not priced as high, or we're priced high. We're not priced as low, so we have to have a better quality. Yeah. And then from there, it was like, okay, well, now that we've got this, at that point, it was like, what can we do to keep up? And then we were talking like, we need to start signing artists and get actual artwork that isn't just us sitting down throwing stuff together.
Yeah. Yeah, because how did that start? Because I remember that Mrs. Coffee was signed with you. Was she one of the first that you started with? And I was like, oh, that's so fun.
Mrs. Coffee went through her eras, as we all know. She had her like side hobbies and stuff, but like I was with her since we've always like talked, because she can be a tough cookie, but for some reason we vibed immediately.
Yeah.
She got into digital art and making these cute things, and I was like, what would be super unique is if I put artwork on these products. And so she was one of the first ones. And then Crafting Journey, Rebecca, well, now she's crafting in Crime Daily. She was another friend of mine, and she started doing art, and that kind of like then we expanded from there, and we got real bold, and then hired what I call my three whales, not hired, licensed what I call three whales. Well, before that was Becca Tyndall and Emma Casey, which kind of, that was like through mutual discussions, and we had already, like I said, made a name for ourselves with relationships with other companies, especially with Diamond Art Club. I was doing sneak peeks for them. I mean, I still am, but I already knew like their marketing team, and we knew each other on like a special level. So I talked to them before I reached out to their artists, and I had to explain, like, I'm not doing diamond paintings. I never will do diamond paintings. You all know me. This is what I want to do. And it's release papers. And they gave me the green light. They're like, yeah, please, here, try these people. And like, okay. And so then
perfect.
Like my main one, I think at the time was of course Richard Lorenz, but I was so scared of him because he was my hero. And you know what they say about meeting your heroes? Like, what if
heroes? Yeah.
Yeah. What if he's a butthole? I don't know. And I got nervous. So I was like, Mandy was another one of my favorite artists of all time. I love her artwork. So, you know, we signed Mandy Manzano, Sheena Pike, and Dakota Dayweiler.
And Rick first.
We did Rick first?
We did Rick first.
Was he the first one after like Emma?
He was the first one after Becca. It was Miss Coffee, Rebecca, Kalina. Then
his sister.
Then that was basically us utilizing people we knew that had artwork to show, yes, we do licensed artwork.
Yeah.
And that brought us Emma, then Becca. So that brought us licensed artwork that there are diamond paintings of.
Yeah.
And then the Rick Lorenz event, which comes up in January of every year, was coming up. And we were talking to him, but we hadn't. She'd sent some info to him, but it hadn't fully registered.
Kept blowing off.
And so we didn't have a license in time for that year's Richard Lorenz event, but he did give us permission to use Be the Bird.
Oh, cool.
Paper. That's one where it's got the birds standing on a wooden side. Bird.
The contracts that Diamond Art Club does, they are so exclusive that not only for you guys, but also for the artists, they don't want to mess with it, just to be sure. Because you already had a relationship with Diamond Art Club as well, Ashley, because you were doing the sneak peeks already. And that's amazing, because that way they know you, so they know that you would never double cross them. But still, it's very, very frightening to ask. And then from there, if they give you a green light to go to the artist, that's fine. And you're like, okay, Diamond Art Club knows that I'm contacting you. But then still, the artist is like, I need to be sure, because I have a contract with Diamond Art Club. So it's all very delicate, because you need to be very careful with that. Yeah.
And then that's what he said. He was like, I got to go check a Diamond Art Club. And I was like, okay, even though they gave me the green light, are they going to understand what he's asking of them? And like, are they going to like put two and two together? I don't know. I was terrified. And then randomly, like the next day, he was like, okay, your persistence paid off. You got the green light. And he said,
welcome to the flock.
Welcome to the flock. Sent me the sign. Cool. I'd never danced in this building so much until that day. Oh my gosh.
It was Rick. Then we got Dakota, which was one that I wanted because we'd done Dakota-thon for 2 years.
Oh, that's what we got.
And I was like, I want a Dakota-thon paper that's done by Dakota.
Yeah.
And so we got Dakota Dayweiler, and then that's what's been fun for me for the last couple. Like this year, me and her working together on getting the Raccoon City put down to size to work with the Dakota-thon stamp.
Thin and like super long.
I don't know if you've seen the print that we did.
I've seen the original artwork, but I haven't seen the release print.
It's so good.
When Dakota said that Raccoon City was going to be the canvas, the canvas for Dakota-thon, and in the past couple of years, the first year she sent the Dakota-thon stamp that she had made for T-shirts and stuff. I did release papers with it. Then last year was Angel of Justice was one of them. So I basically did the same thing that she had done with it, where she put the stamp over Angel of Justice.
Yeah.
This year we were talking, and she was talking about how it's Raccoon City, but she's working on trying to figure out how to condense it down because it's so long, with the stamp only being this size. So I worked with her on getting it down, and we sent it to her. And she's like, "Oh yeah, awesome! Send me this." She would tweak it and send it back, and then so she's got it on her T-shirts and stuff on her Etsy shop and website, and then we've got it on the Dakota-thon release papers and tumblers and cover minders. But that's one thing I love about working with the artists, especially when people do events and we get to work on these event papers for them.
But how cool is that your business is giving you the opportunity to work with the artist, and you're creating things that's going back to the artist and that the artists are putting on their shop. How cool is that? Don't you feel I feel okay.
It makes me a little emotional, honestly, because it's like living the dream almost. Like, because you know, growing up, and then I say growing up in the diamond painting community, because I feel like that's how I grew up, like in my social position. Like I grew up with it. But you learn to appreciate the artists so much and admire them.
Yeah.
So going from that to like working with them hand in hand, it's like it really is. It's special. And then like we turn into partially like some of their pit bulls too. Like we're like, don't mess with our people. That we signed so many different artists, but so I think after we signed so many, we were like, okay, we have this huge opportunity now that we have licensing to like grow beyond release papers. And I had, you know, prior skills and knowledge on making pens. So I thought I have this one right here. Yeah, there you go. That was one of the hardest things to perfect, I think.
I love my pen. I love it. I love it because it's the same size as the twist and pick pen of Diamond Art Club, but it's lighter. It's so light. So I use mine all the time. I have a 4-placer. I usually work with 7 or 10 placers. This one I use all the time because I work on confetti heavy kits, and it's so light. So my hand doesn't cramp. I love it. And I came to you guys for the release papers, and I ordered the entire bundle because I just wanted to see everything. And I really honestly didn't know anything about your pens, Crashly. I love it. It's so light.
It was hard. It was harder to figure out these to like get the image like on such a narrow down. Like it was hard, but we didn't want it because the inside of those is just this. Like you can't tell if you take off the tips, you might be able to see, but the inside of those is just this pink pen. That's it. And then I wrap it in clay because nobody wants to hold something this thin. Like that's gonna kill your hands. Look how close your fingers have to be together to like hold it. Like so, it needs to be thicker and it needs to be weighted properly. So I use my polymer clay skills and my pasta machine to wrap these pink pens and to where they're a good appropriate weight to where your fingers don't overlap and touch and kill your knuckles. But like I know it's not a forever thing, like, but it does feel good to go from like acrylic pen to this pen to, you know. So we figured out the proper weight, you know, what felt comfortable to me, because that's all I can really test off of is what feels good. But yeah, the pink pen is just inside of this. That's what makes them e-pen compatible, because these tips can just come off. You can see right through them. Well, this one has a tip on it, so you can use these for e-pen.
Yeah, Tammy from Diamond Painting with NMD, she told me about that it was because I don't have an e-pen, and she said, well, that really helps as well because I use them all the time and I can just put them in, they're compatible with my e-pen. I was like, I nodded. I didn't understand it at all, but I just nodded. But you know what? You know why these pens are so perfect, Crashly, is because they are light and they are totally different than the other diamond painting pens that most of us have that are a bit thicker and heavier. So it's nice to have this as well as an addition to your, so it really adds something to your pen collection.
it helps your hand and your muscles to not use the same, like the turned big heavy pens. It's healthy to go from something that's a different weight to a different shape, so you don't, build calluses, you don't get arthritis or whatever. Like, you got to change the weight a little bit. Maybe arthritis wasn't the right word. You know what I mean? Hand cramps. I don't know. I'm no doctor person, but I know you can get hand cramps and use the same. Yes.
I'm a fan, and I hadn't expected it. I just ordered it because I was like, okay, it's in the package. Well,
so you were like, whoa.
I really love, and of course, I have my tumbler as well.
Yes. that was another thing. We were like, so we have all these licensed artists for accessories, so we had to go beyond the release paper. So we got pens down, and of course, I had to make cover binders, like they're prints, right? So like, there's she probably has. There it is. So we have like different shapes of them.
I came prepared.
This is Dakota Debbie Sloth. You can probably not see it, but so now we can put the prints on cover minders, and these are also made by hand. This is a resin blank from a mold, and then I can't say how I put the image on here, or else everyone will do it. So then I put the image on here, and then I dome it by hand. It's all resin on the top, by hand, with my little tools, and I spread it out all the way to the sides, make sure it's perfectly domed, and then I pop all the bubbles with this guy, all by hand, and then I cure it by hand. So the only thing not by hand here is the artwork. I didn't make that,
but you guys have within your business, you have each has its specific tasks. So you do the pens and the cover minders, and Corinne, you do the design of the release papers. Have I got that correctly?
She'll design some. She's done some good ones.
I don't cut. I can't. It's always crooked. I don't press flesh. I don't cut. So he'll cut like the tumbler wraps for sublimation. Like the have, and he cuts all the papers. What I do is a lot of like the marketing posts, Oh, and he puts the wraps on here because I also can't wrap pins straight, apparently. So after like they're wrapped, I do all the finishing work, making the products by hand, all the putties, all those things. My main job is, and then social media and marketing and answering customer service stuff. Really, he does the resizing of images the best because he can he has a fancy pantsy way of expanding backgrounds or doing this and working with the. It's just he's fancy pantsy with that kind of thing. Whereas I'll probably do one and then have to get up and go run a mile or something to get away from it because it's so tedious and tiny and. But that's why I say I'm a lot of the big ideas and he's like a lot of that's too much money.
Yeah. But if you're making all these things, it's kind of labor intensive or not?
We develop systems to make it better. So like for example, these when I make blanks, that's what I call them. It's just the white part of these cover minders. Yeah. We found things like, okay, we're gonna prepare for this big week. Like what shocked us is refresh your stash a lot. So we made those well ahead because we're like, we know that these are coming. And I think with marketing and everything, I think what has helped us get this far, and I'm not trying to be cheesy, truly, it's been the relationships we've carried along the way we've developed, but also the customers. We have such an amazing customer base where they share in these groups and they tag us. They say, look at my release papers from Crafts with Crashley. And we see that so often, and it means the world to us. We'll be in the kitchen. To attest
to the amazingness of our customers, we have been able to have a business for nearly over 7 years solely on word of mouth.
Yeah, that's the most important thing I've always said, and the also the just trying to bring new things because you're always adding new designs. You've got so many designs now on your site, and it's like, okay, which one? Well, you want them all because there's so much fun things to.
We're surprised at how many people collect. There's this one girl, Rhonda. She's so funny. I don't know if you know Rhonda Needs. She doesn't mind if I talk about her, but we got really close because she orders every single Richard Lorenz cover binder that ever comes out, and she has this case. She displays them all, and it's people that love to collect certain artists and stuff. But I was surprised at how many like to look at new artists. Like not everyone's heard of like Miss Fluff, who has amazing like pinup girls and like wait, is that provocative? Pinup with the styles. Okay, pinup girls. Sorry, I couldn't. What was I saying?
This one, new artist that
and Rednan Gallery is a new one. Rednan, she has like Montana Moon something.
Oh, here's one of her.
I'm not good at. Oh yeah, like here's another one like of hers with the beautiful girl. Cool. Yeah, so like I encourage people, like even if you have your favorite artist, when you go to our site, like look at like all the new releases or all the, maybe you'll find an artist that you do love, because we don't strictly use artwork that is already diamond paintings. We want to help our artists broaden, what's popular. Look, Courtney, yes, I love her. That's Alchemist.
I was on your site because I was ordering the Refresh Your Stash, and I was like, okay, I'm going to place an order, and because I'm in France, with shipping, and I was like, okay, I'm going to get some extra release paper. So I was just, enjoying myself, looking on your website way too long. But then all of a sudden, I saw Courtney, Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, and I saw her work on this artwork, and I've been, we're in contact, and I love her. And I was like, she has released, and I didn't even know that. So I texted her immediately. I was like, I have your release papers. I have your release papers from Crafts with Crashley. And she was like, oh, that's so cool. And I'm like, but they are.
Love her. Yeah. She's a woman with hidden talents. I had no idea she was an artist. We were friends for so long and had no clue. And then Tammy, Tammy, that girl. Yeah. Tammy's one of our closest friends. Like we talk every single day.
She's been a customer for us since as long as you, if not longer. I mean,
yeah. So then we went to retreats with her and have been inseparable. Like we love Tammy and all of them, and like Rich and stuff. Like those are our peeps. Yeah. But Tammy said you should get some of Courtney's art. And I'm like, her art? What? And I talked to her all the time about like diamond paintings and stuff because we both do like sneak peeks and everything. Yeah. And I was like, her art, and she showed me Alchemist Dust Dragon. I'm like, that's Courtney. And it had to happen. And she's just amazing.
She has too many talents. She not only is she gorgeous, but she can sing as well. So I was like, okay, Courtney, you've got too many talents. You need to stop now because
she has like 100 kids too. I think she only has like 2, but she's always got like running around and still manages.
Yeah.
Still manages to do all the things she does. She's incredible. I like her a lot.
Yeah.
That's the thing about like customers and stuff. Being like you got Courtney who was friend and customer, and then it's like, oh wait, you do art. Nina, Rednan Gallery, she was referred to us by a customer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was like, oh, I love Crashley stuff. Deborah Malcolm. We were doing release papers. We were signing artists. Deborah bought stuff from us. That she was a customer for years. Crashley did a retreat. We did the retreat with DP Addiction Adventures.
The Great Lakes.
And Deborah Malcolm even did a video call to teach a class for the retreat.
Rock painting with her mandala style. So we got to work with Deborah
and all that. And then 6 months later to a year, I'm like, why have we not signed her yet? So she goes like, hey, Deborah, quick question. Why haven't we signed you for release paper? She's like, because you haven't asked.
It's about time. Like, I'm sorry. But we're at the point now where artists reach out to us to sign, and we'll rarely say no. The only time that we do say no is like another thing that we pride ourselves on is we're very careful with copyright and infringement. Respect to IP. So we don't do fan art unless it has to really be changed. So like, Mandy has some that we won't be able to do, like the It's
her original Princess panel.
We don't even have access to those. But what's the one with it's about a movie that's long, and it's very colorful. It just restocked. I don't know where to
I know which one you mean. The fun never ends.
Yes, the fun never ends because I love that piece. But like I think we have access to that one, but we won't. But we're very, very careful. Things like Care Bears, you'll see.
Yeah.
And, even fan art is copyright, and so we're very, very careful. We won't, even if it,
Sometimes you'll see something slip through if it's like just a little item in the background. Like you got a room and somebody,
like Mrs.
Butter D, like she'll have a room where it's got a whole bunch of stuff. And there may be something in the background that is there. Yeah. That is one of those things that's like doesn't really have issues.
Yeah, but those things happen. They even happen at Diamond Art Club because they bring them out. And then something gets noticed, and they're like, "Ooh, we need to discontinue this kit." Yeah. So
Mrs. Butter D is another one that's amazing to work with because we did her Dorothy image, and like I guess Dorothy with red slippers is protected IP, and so we had to message her. We're like, "Is there any way you can make these slippers silver, like from the book, which is open source?" And she sent it back within an hour. Like, "Here you go, silver shoes." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, thank you!" And she did. So we were able to release that image with silver shoes.
But you guys, it's the integrity, it's things like that make you stand out and people will notice. And that's why not only you have your loyal customers and your loyal fans, but you also have loyal artists. I really think to stay with your own decisions and keep thinking about it and not go for the quick cash grabs, but just intentionally, okay, this is what we're here for. We want quality, we want licensed art, we want to be purposeful with all the contracts. Our contacts are very important to us. We want to have good relationship with all the companies and of course with the customers. But that's also why, because I said to you guys, I have never done sponsorships or anything like that because I always want to stay in control of my own channel. And I think it's very important also because the people who watch me, they're used to that. I'm like, okay, I stay out of everything just to be able to do my own thing. And I was like, okay, I'm doing this challenge and I really want to have a gadget. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to reach out to you guys because I know your product, I know what you stand for, and that's just something that I really can get on board with because it just has the same, you guys have the same kind of values and you've got my sense of humor, so I always think that helps. Yeah.
As I said, the mind thing, it's there.
But I was so, that was just from my ideas to you, and I was like, and so I was so honored that you guys felt the same way. You're like, okay, of course we're going to do something. And I was like, yes. I'm so grateful. I think I
think yours is extra fun, like for him, because you didn't have an image, and so he took your concept and like. And so it was really cool, especially, like I said, your reaction, like, made it, she likes it. I don't know. It was so cute and awesome. And, we're happy to do it anytime. Like I said, anytime you do something, you holler at your girl. And
I really, thanks so much. And I just wanted to ask if someone's doing an event, because, my situation was a bit different, but normally, when people are doing events, what do? They fill out the form with the questions? That's the way to go, and then you stay in contact, or how does that work?
The best way is to fill out the form. It doesn't hurt to shoot us a message or an email as well, because I try to get to the form as often as possible. It's just the two of us. So
I think the reality is we get so busy with so many orders due every day. If we don't email you like within a day. We never get mad if people remind us of stuff like that. We don't take that personally. Okay. It helps us actually, because in one day we get about 50 emails for, this or that, recommending artists. It's not always bad, but just random messages from different, the paper supplier, the artist, the agents. And, so if you do fill it out, that's great. But like I said, we don't take it personally if you do email us to remind us. But I will also say, we don't, I don't want to sound mean, but it's always better to give us a month notice, because with a lot of these events with the papers that we make, the cover minders, people truly do like to get the product before it starts. They prefer that, and so like I would say give us like a month in advance to get it done.
A prime example would be Dakota-thon.
Yeah.
Right? If somebody were to have messaged us tomorrow, you still got a few weeks before Dakota-thon starts. You know, if they were to message us tomorrow, the Dakota-thon paper would not be what it is.
Yeah.
The image would be what it is, because we wouldn't have had time to work with Dakota to, you know, spitball ideas back and forth, to, you know, for her to modify artwork and us to, you know, we wouldn't have time for it.
Well, and that's also for events that only go from like this month to this month. Like for your event, it's a year thing,
Yes.
so like, it's fine. That could be any time.
Well, hers isn't an event. It's a movement.
Sorry, I need to be different, so I call it the challenge.
It's based off the sales from yours. It's a movement.
It is a movement. We really do appreciate all your refresher stashers. We appreciate you.
And because it's the two of us as well, because it's just the two of us, it takes time to, you know, we do our best to get orders out as fast as possible.
Oh yeah.
But sadly, sometimes it can take up to 2 business weeks for it to get in the mail, and then another, and that's just for US side.
Yeah.
Because it takes time. If we get slammed with orders, we got to sit there. We don't have enough stuff made, so we got to sit there and make it. Like a pen, to make this pen takes 3.5 days.
Yeah.
From start to finish. Sometimes 4.
Yeah.
And that's one pen. You turn around and have it as though we've got 30 or 40 pens ordered. It takes a lot longer. So it's that situation where if we don't have enough time to get, like, say we did it to ourselves. We honestly did this to ourselves with Get Your Weird On. We did not list Get Your Weird On until like the second to last Sunday of February. And the event started March 1st and it's March 31st.
Yeah. Oh.
So this week is the first week we're actually getting those orders sent out. So then people they're not able to use their stuff for the full event. So
and it's your own event, Crashly.
Yeah, it's no fault on anybody.
Just ask us anything. You can even ask me how my cats are doing if you want. I don't mind.
How are your cats doing?
My cats are doing great. Thank you. They have their warm hut right outside this building. It's wrapped in tarp for our cold days with their heater in their beds. And they come in here to visit us every once in a while. But yeah, they're good.
How many do you have? Because I think, if I got it correctly, do you have an Hermione?
I do have Hermione. Claire, okay, go get them.
Look for Featherford out there. Claire didn't come.
Hermione.
Oh,
Just little Hermione. She's a very good desk. I think it's another part of like my ADD. These cats like help.
She's a good lap cat.
Keep me like.
Oh.
They're never in here when we fill orders in case we don't want hairs to get on our stuff.
No,
but when we're just hanging out, they'll come say hi, and she just.
She cuddles.
Mm-hmm. She's very,
but she's still very young.
She is. Oh gosh, how old are they? Like 3-4 months ish, something like that.
Oh, so cute. Oh,
she's very.
I have two. I have a white one with some black dots, and he's called Elvis.
A cow cat. You have a cow cat. White with black dots.
Mm-hmm.
I have one of those inside. His name's Ferdinand because I call those cow cats.
Yeah. They call him Little Cow over here. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I just fell in love with you so much more. I love cow cats. They're my favorite. There's Claire. I love cow cats.
And I've got a red one, and he's called James. So I've got Elvis and James. Yeah.
I love human names for cats for some reason. I think that's so cute. That's why we have Rupert. But we were watching Outlander. I don't know if you know that show, but there's Rupert on there. And yeah, Wallace, his favorite movie is Braveheart. And Claire is also from Outlander.
Cool.
But we couldn't name the other one Jamie because they're siblings.
Yeah, no.
Weird.
That would be weird. And guys, what I also wanted to ask, what's important, you guys go live every Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah. So right now we're helping a dear friend de-stash diamond painting. So we also do auctions on Saturdays mostly. Well, not most Saturdays. Like we're doing this Saturday. It's a huge de-stash auction.
Saturday's our time.
Yeah, Saturdays our time at 7 p.m. There is fun. That's where she's just de-stashing. But for our normal live stream where we hang out and we talk about our releases and such. That is Sundays at 6 p.m. Central. Yes.
Sundays at 6 p.m. Central, you do a live, and then you also always show your new releases.
Yes, we do.
And you also have an artist of the week, or is it artist of the month?
Week.
Artist of the week.
Okay.
We thought about doing artist of the month, but we've gotten to the point where
forever.
we've got like 50 artists signed now.
You have
So-
too many artists. Yeah.
It would take 5 years to be able to showcase each artist.
And we're always signing more. I mean, it's just yeah.
Cool. And because you guys do a lot of events, so just like me, people fill in the form, and then you do they send in their own designs normally, or do they use the artist designs? How does that go?
Well, okay, so if it's an artist design, we make them because there's a lot of avenues we have to go through to get them approved. The artist, and if there's an agent, the agent as well. Because every month when we send our royalty payments, we have to also send a report.
Yeah, of
like,
course.
These are the designs that sold, how many each is. So we make the artist designs. If they have one to work with, usually they don't because nobody has access to their files really. We do because they're licensed with us. So like there's a Jeremiah Kettner event, for example. So I can take a lot of his images and make collages or something. So we usually do those. If you have one started, then great, but I would have to get a license. It's the right thing to do.
But just to give an example, this isn't the case, but you've got Margaret Morales. I know there's a Mary Morales, but you've got Margaret Morales, and you've got, say 6 artworks of her licensed. And I'm doing a Margaret Morales event, which I'm not doing because there already is one, but just as an example. I'm like, okay, hi, Corinne and Crashley, I'm going to do a Margaret Morales event. Is it possible to make a release paper for this event with some of the images that you have licensed from her? Is something like that possible?
We did that for Mary Morales.
Okay.
We went through the artwork that we had of hers.
Yeah.
If there was artwork we needed, we communicated with her. And then I also speaking with the person who does the event, 'cause sometimes they'll have a feature canvas that this is the main
Love Tessie, I think is what we did.
We'll work with them. And Love Tessie's one that we didn't really, the image itself doesn't fully work that well in release paper. Like it does, but it's very light and just, so we worked on modifying it and changing it to work with the event color scheme and stuff like that. And then I put it all together, sent it to Margaret. She went over it, made some changes, gave some notes, brought it back. I did the changes, took her notes, sent it back. And then the last note she had was, just go in and remove this little bit for me. And went in and removed it. She's like, there you go, good to go.
See, like
we send it out.
The difference is like when we do artist ones, they're licensed with the artist. So like they get paid for anything that we sell. So it's not like making a themed design with one that we don't have. We hated doing that. Like for the Be the Bird, we just found a random bird and putting it on a piece of wood and say Be the Bird. We hate that. So we actually get to use their artwork and they make money from the event stuff. But as far as the style for artwork, sometimes it depends on the artist's style. I think like Jeremiah Kettner, that one is one of my favorite ones, and like Carissa Bug, their artwork's kind of like all over the place. So it looks good to display it in collage format. Whereas like you pick a bunch of different ones, you kind of like put them on top of each other. He did that to Rick's too with the different birds. Removed backgrounds and layered them. Now Margaret's, her art is more clean, I think. It gives me a precise, clean feel. So then for hers, we picked Love Tessie, removed the background, and like that was the feature on it, and we could add words. But whenever we change an artist's artwork at all, we want them to sign off. Like she did want some changes to it, which is those are her babies. Like
and that's one of the reasons.
So if there's an event, you go back to the artist, not to the creator who's going to do the event, which is logical, but just to be sure.
Well, sometimes
okay, they are going to do an event. They would like to do a release paper for the event. Are you okay with that? And can we use this?
we go to both. We
Yeah.
get an idea of what the person who's holding the event is looking for.
Yeah.
Like if they're look, like an example would be like the color palette for that Margaret Morales event was based on speaking to the person doing the event.
Like her aesthetic and her channel. I think that was Naomi?
Naomi, yeah.
Yeah,
No.
so it was because I think the original color palette I did was sort of like a golden Christmas style, but she was more on the fur style, you know, the coniferous style of Christmas. So it was changing the color palettes to work with that, but it's also, you know, even one of the reasons we have a lot of exclusive contracts with the artists is to protect the integrity of their artwork.
Yeah.
When I go through, and that's like with Dakota, when we go through and change something in the art, that to us, it's the artist's work.
Yeah.
Even if I go through and change it like crazy, the artist owns it. If the artist wants to take that work and use it on their business cards, amazing, do it. They want to put it on T-shirts, yes, do it. Don't pay me for it. It's your artwork.
Yeah.
We're making money off what we use for it. It's a
love our
symbiotic
artists.
style relationship, but it also helps keep the integrity of it, as well as not seeing it pop up other places and in turn hindering us. We're still in a growth environment of our business. We're a small business, 2 people. We're in a growth environment, so we still have to constantly keep and ensure that we're growing ourselves.
Yeah, but that's also important. Why I wanted to talk about this, because I also want people who are watching to realize why it's important to, if you're doing an event or if you're looking for some kind of sponsorship, to do it well in advance, not only because you need the time to create it, but things like this takes time, because if there's an idea and it needs to go back and forth between the creator and you and the artist, if you want to have a top-notch, perfect product, it takes time, and your guys are willing to put that work into it. But on the other side, from the creator of the event kind of perspective, please be on time so that these things can happen.
Yeah. The reality is that they sell better if it's before the event. And so after we do all of this work, if we have a few weeks to get it out there, preferably a month for people to be able to order and to get it, they just sell better, and it makes all of that like well worth it, you know, for us and the artists, you know.
Definitely, and that's the other thing to keep in mind too, and wanting to go, if like say for example, you're like, okay, I'm doing a Margaret Morales event, getting that information the soonest, because it sells better. Yeah, like she said, it sells better before the event. So when the artist gets their check at the end of the event, when the artist gets to see how much the event made for them, if they put time and effort into altering their own artwork and working with us on it, and then it comes back for pennies.
When
the next event comes up, we're not going to get the same type of excitement. We're not going to get the same type of, oh yes, let's do this. It's going to be
because if you do it correctly, then you have the enthusiasm of the artist for the event as well. So then both sides are super happy. That's a win-win.
It's so self-gratifying when self-rewarding when an artist loves what we did, when an artist likes it or comments on social media. This is so cool, like with what Jeremiah did with the collage you made for the Catenary event.
I did that one all by myself.
You know, when Rick was like, because Rick is one that he doesn't like his stuff messed with.
Oh my gosh!
And so when I did the birds, the collage of the birds for the Rick Lorenz event, and when he's like, "Oh my gosh, this is awesome!" I'm like,
he was like, I need to approve everything that you do.
Randy was another one. He doesn't like a lot. He doesn't like his stuff messed with.
Oh, and for the record, for those who don't know, Rick and I are now very close friends. Okay, so I get to make fun of him because now, when he was very like, but now we're close friends. Like,
But like Randy's another one, and it's nothing negative. It's they own it. They're each piece of artwork is their baby that they've created, so they have the right to hold it close to their heart. And when I did it was the Randall Spangler Christmas event, and I had the idea, I'm like, okay, well, what can we do? We try to make it different, try to make it something that's not the same. And I was like, well, it'd be really cool if I did a snow globe. And then for
That
following
one was a
years,
cool one.
I can just change up the image in the snow globe, you know? And when I sent him the idea of, hey, this is what I've got, he was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Yeah. I was like, we don't know what canvas they're wanting to do or what image they're wanting. So he's like, here's a few of them, you know.
Well, then they made us change it because it was
Work it
a
out.
mystery image. I remember that.
Yeah. And that's when where the event host was like, well, this was a mystery image, so we don't want people willing for this working on it. Can you change it? So then we got Randy, got a different image, and
Randy's another cool one. We would talk to his wife Leslie the most to get images. It's fun. It's amazing getting a look behind these artists that we've loved for so long. You know, like what? It's just fun. I like doing what we do. I would pick this life every day over the 9 to 5. I would.
No regrets?
Honestly, no. I wish we would have bought a bigger building. I did not realize when we picked the size of this. You can't really see. There's no way. My computer's all plugged in. But, you know, when we bought it, when we first quit our job, we bought this. I guess we didn't know this.
Basically a 12 by 20 right now.
Yes, I wish we would have double the size.
We were going away from a size that was a 5 by 8.
Mm-hmm.
Where I was working in the house was 5 feet by 8 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So when we got the building, it's like, oh, it's a 12 by 20. I'm like, that's more than twice the space. Yeah, let's do it. You know, the building got here, finish it off. I'm like, yeah, this is huge, but
this truck delivered this building to our property. Can you imagine a building on a truck just driving down the highway?
And, you know, and it's like we got the truck, and then I got the industrial printer.
Well, then he finished it himself. Like you can probably see. Look at the drywall.
Yeah,
see that right there?
The plan was to continue to work inside.
You see up there? There's
Yeah.
The exit part, the drywall.
The plan was to continue to work in the house until we got the building finished.
But then we kept getting orders.
But we kept getting orders, and we just kept. And it was like, and then the printer showed up, and it was like, okay, well, and we never got it finished, but it works. It's
and now we have to take everything out. And then do the stuff and put everything back in. And the weather has not been steady at all.
So now the plan is we'll finish it when we build the extension because we've got to build an extension.
Yeah, I mean, we own it now, so we're going to blow up a wall, I think. And
Okay, so that's a new plan. And you are also in contact with other small businesses because, Crashly, you told me about Tima.
Tima's my girl. Yeah. We have relationships with tons of small businesses. You know, Tima is one of those ones that, you know, I told you about the mind meld right now.
Yeah.
So hers and I was a specific one. But we met at a retreat. I found out she lives in Warrenton, Missouri, which is just, I grew up there. So I was near Jeff City, Missouri. So we can just randomly decide to go to T-Ball's house, and that's like 45 minutes away.
Cool.
But yeah, she talk about just an overall sweet, amazing human being. I would vouch for that woman every single day, no matter what. She is just, and she has a great product and a great business mind. You know, I've learned a lot from her, and I think she's learned a lot from us too. Yeah. And then we have, you know, relationships. Our big one is with Diamond Art Club, of course, and then you know we work with Looney Made with different artists. That's where we got.
Do you help each other out? Does it not only with advice but also with certain?
Yeah, so we have something called subscription boxes too, which you know, you subscribe and you get these boxes. So sometimes we go to these other companies and we do trades. Like here, take some of our sample packs, release papers, and they give us some of their products in return, and then we'll put their products in our subscription boxes. Or like we did inserts on orders before, where like we've done it with Tmall, we've done it with Nicole before, where like we put in their business card with this little sample and them samples. So I mean, we work hand in hand with tons of businesses. There was one recently with Diamond Design Co. They just licensed Miss Fluff. I did a sneak peek for them, and then we did it to where like if they ordered this, they got a discount from them, and I gave them a gift card from us. And like, so if you order from us, you get this from them, or if you order from them, you get this from us, kind of thing. So yeah, we work with a lot of businesses
like
hand in hand.
Crafty and Crime Daily's got her own business now.
Yeah,
and it's fun. You look at like Emma and Becca. We got those artists because of befriending other businesses.
And
Yeah.
now it's close to house.
Femke Deborah is another one that, you know, we got her through, from Artemis watched us. And, you know, was a great person.
And Cat Fedora, we were introduced to Cat from, there's a Cat Fedora paint along thing.
And through Femke, that got us a little bit more of a relationship with Mooney Maid. So now Mooney Maid, it's a symbiotic relationship with the whole community on the business sense and on the customer sense. It's not exclusive to one tier or the other. It's all one big group.
Yeah. But everyone, what you said, word of mouth, that's how it all goes. And especially in a niche like this, everyone
100%.
knows each other, and so that's why it's so important, I think, to try and stay different and do your own thing. And that's why I love you guys so much.
I love you too, Lisette, a lot. Is it Lisette or Lisette?
Lisette.
Okay, not Lizzie. Okay. Lizzie.
No. I've never been called Lizzie, but you can call me Liz.
Lisette.
You can call me whatever you want.
I don't know. Okay, just Lisette. Okay.
She's stuck behind the screen. She can't reach her hand through and actually say, stop saying that.
People think
She's like, you can call me whatever you want because I can't reach you right now to tell you this.
Crashley, your event that's going on right now, you're doing that with Jennifer, aren't you?
Yes.
DP Addiction Adventures.
You got it.
Yeah, DP
Addiction Adventures.
Yeah. Just get your weird on. What's your painting? I don't know what your diamond painting is.
What is it called? It's Out of This World, or that might not be that's what I keep calling it, but I think that it might be wrong. It is this painting. It's upside down.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. What is the name of it? I always forget it. I don't think it's called Out of This World. Maybe it is. It's over here.
The color palette is cool.
Close Encounters.
Close
Encounters.
By
Somebody. Who's it by?
Scott Howden.
Scott Howden. And she's got kind of creepy eyes. I just love it though. I love the colors. And I have this small section done. We don't get a lot of time to diamond paint, but look at those colors.
Oh, yeah. Is it a round or a square?
The round.
Round.
I like squares more, but like I won't not do a round. I just like pretty images, really. Like I don't really like not do one because of a certain thing.
But do you have time to diamond paint? Because you guys are so busy.
No, but we learned to develop like a strict, like we're off at this time kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not too super often, but sometimes I'll take it inside and stuff. But
at least one day a week we'll stop at like 8 o'clock at night,
and then I'll sit and diamond paint for a while. But I use my Harbor Freight containers for that, and not Harbor Freight, my Five Below containers, and I love them. We make time to diamond paint, especially this month for the event. Like, yes, we will make time somehow.
Okay, Crashley, just a little bit.
Just hire a robot. I don't know.
Yeah. And while she's diamond painting, she'll look at me and be like, "Why aren't you doing something?"
My
And you guys, you are a great team because you're not only living together, but you're also working together. But they always ask us, like, do you ever get sick of one another? And we're like, no. But that's because you work together. But because
you know what, we're both like,
we don't get sick of each other. We just joke.
No, but everyone, because you have your specific tasks. People, I think, with us, they always like, "Oh, and you're always together." Yes, but we're working, so it's not like we're just.
We were just talking about this the other day. It's crazy that you're bringing it up because we're like, I wonder how we don't get tired of each other. I think that it's because we are always business, but like not really. Like I'll randomly see something fly across the room and hit me in the head, and it's funny. So I think like. And we break it up too, because like we live way out of the country, so we'll break it up and go out to lunch too. Because you can't get food delivered where we live; it's in the middle of nowhere. But like we stay steady, busy. We also have a show going the whole time in the building, like some sort of bench show. But we're very light-hearted, positive people. Granted, we do have low days. Hermione, stop talking over me. We do have like low days, but like I think we recognize that in each other. We're also good at fighting. Like we're really good at fighting, and like I'll be
resolving.
That's what I mean.
Good at fighting, really good. She throws some good blows. She's good. There's been some KOs. Sometimes somebody will go out of nowhere and say, "Dude, you're out." TKO. You know, she's really good at fighting.
But no, we're good at like
resolution.
We're good at like, okay, I just need a minute, and then we leave. You know, or like. Yeah. I was just a butthole to you, and I'm very sorry. We're good at that kind of thing, and so we just he's just my soulmate, and it's fine that we're together.
And the other factor too, and you know this from working with your significant other, is like you said, it's true. People don't understand that working together doesn't mean you are together. You know, and that's the kicker, is understanding that even though we spend most of our time in the same room, even though we spend most of our time in the same room, if we don't take time to go and spend time together, it's like we don't spend time together. Because there's a lot, when you're in the zone and you're working, it's, you know, it's similar to like if you worked a job at a place and you worked in cubicles. You're not friends with everybody there. You're not talking to everybody there. You can go to work an entire day and leave and not have any clue what anybody else was doing, and there were 30 other people in the building.
Yes.
It's the same when you're working with your spouse. You're not always talking back and forth. You're in the zone, you're working.
We're going to wrap up. The last question I had was, you're doing retreats, aren't you? Because you go to a lot of retreats, or not?
So actually our big one is coming up, and we're going on, I'm sorry, I got like a piece of hair in my eye. We're going on a cruise, the DP at Sea with Rachel Ray and Care Bear.
You're going?
We are going, and it's our first cruise, and we're stoked. So there is going to be a week in April where we will not be fulfilling orders, but we're working on.
I'm so jealous.
You should come because there's 2 more spots left.
No, I need to work.
Oh my gosh, that would be an expensive trip. Can you imagine?
That would be an expensive trip, but I'm working, so it really isn't an option. But I'm so jealous.
Well, so we're on the committee for Great Lakes Escape, which is a summer retreat in Ohio. So this year she's taking a break from that because Jen, DP Addiction Adventures, her daughter is graduating and going to college and stuff. So this is a big year for her personal life. Resuming next year in June, and then I'll announce like when registration is for that. As far as going to retreats, I think we're just going to one small one in June with just a few of our friends, and then the cruise was so expensive. I think that's where we're stopping this year, and then we'll pick back up.
We can only take so much time off from not only the business, but also kids being in school and stuff.
Yeah, and I have to have months in between them, or else I lose my mind being away from them. I get depressed, and I will not have fun if I'm like away from kids that close together. So it has to be spread out. So, but we do love coming. You know, this year is just going to be more of a recruit from the bazillion dollars for the cruise, but it's worth it. It's a once in a lifetime thing, so that's fine with us.
But that's going to be so awesome. I saw Rachel Ray and Kara announce it. I was like, ooh, that sounds like fun. But I'm like, okay, fortunately, I can't go because, for me from France to do that would be
a big undertaking.
So expensive.
You come fly to Missouri, though. I'll come pick you up from the airport. You can hang out here in the cat farm, and we'll be fine.
That's where the
don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me.
You would have a free place to stay, and I would cook for you.
But the retreat that you were doing, the other one, that one is in the summer or not?
It is. It's in June. That's why we can go to that easily, because kids are off school. They just go to the grandparents' house.
But it's not happening this year because of...
Jen had a lot of personal stuff. So not in 2026. It will resume next year, though, which would be a perfect time for you to come.
Okay, but June, for me, work-wise, still is a problem. For me, the winter months are the option. But for us, our season's starting at the start of April till November.
Oh,
so.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. One of these days we'll meet up. Maybe we'll go to France.
Oh, you're always welcome here. You know that.
That would be fun.
That would be
Yeah.
fun.
Okay, guys, I'm going to leave you because you need to get to your kids. Thanks for spending so much time with me, and I'm sorry I've taken so much time.
No, it was fun. Literally anytime. Thank you so much. I'm gonna
Love
press
talking to you guys. I'm going to end and make something great of it. Okay,
Did you say
thanks,
bye
guys.
now? Say it again.
Bye now.
Oh my god.
Bye. Right, guys, so that was my sponsor and chat with the lovely Corinne and Crashley from Crafts with Crashley. If you want to get some of these beautiful release papers yourself or check out the shop, please go to the description box below. There's a link there, and there's a code there, refresh10, that gives you 10% of your order. That's the sponsor code that they gave us for the challenge. So really happy about that. And Crafts with Crashly, we didn't talk about this in the sponsor and chat. I totally forgot about it. But they will do the giveaway for the whip parade that we'll be doing on the 22nd of March. If you don't know what that's about, go and check out this video where I talk more about that. And guys, I hope you give me a thumbs up on your way out. Let me know if you have ordered from Crafts with Crashly, what your experience is with them. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.